That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Turks and Caicos is yours truly, Andy Missick, the host of Wassup Turks and Caicos, a show made for the youth, hosted by the youth, where I interview some of the most influential youth in the TCI as we dive into a variety of different topics.
For me, and that's why I say I won't come back no time soon, because I want to make a name for myself outside of Turks and Caicos first before I come back, because I already have a name here.
I've always just had a passion for it, man. Like I couldn't even tell you where it came from. I think maybe I just seen it on TV one time, and from then it was just going. Like I always loved football, and I always knew I wanted to play quarterbacks.
With the sole purpose of youth empowerment. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. on the best radio station in the TCI, RTC. Good morning, Turks and Caicos. It's yours truly, Andy Missick, the host of Wassup Turks and Caicos, and I'm here with Mr. Leo Lightbourne, author, Regatta committee member, award filmmaker, and so much more. You can introduce yourself for those tuned in on Radio Land right now.
Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. My name is Leo Lightbourne, and as Andy alluded to, I wear many hats, and I identify as a creative. I think that's the best hat that fits me as an individual. But I'm super elated to be on Wassup. There's a lot of, and I love the concept of the show. You know, what's up? Like, what's going on? You know, so I'm excited. I've watched many of your episodes, and I am ready to say what's up with me. Yeah.
So okay, we'll dive straight into it. Regatta 56. I'm seeing the posters. I'm seeing the promotions, and it's a great job that you guys are doing as a committee. So what basically influenced you to be a part of the committee, Regatta committee, and what does it mean to you?
You know, Regatta was something I always been a part of ever since a child. It's a time when the family came back home to South Caicos. And not only was it family time, it's a time to participate in cultural activities and really enjoy the island of South Caicos. And, you know, you're around family, you're around the cultural stuff, you're hearing stories. It was just a happiness in the air. And, you know, when I got asked to join a committee, I couldn't say no. You know, I'm from South Caicos. I love South Caicos. And I saw where my help was needed. And, you know, when I joined the committee members, shout out to Madam President Ludell Goldman. I'll just mention the executive committee, Sharika Brown as a controller, Madam VP, Mickey Clear, Brianna Howell is our secretary, and Geriko Fulford is our treasurer. When I joined these individuals, we all came together and we scripted a vision, and the vision was to revive the committee and bring back the old committee values of pouring into the community and making it more about taking over the years has grown to the party. You know, we've grown, we've had great parties, but the community element was missing from the Regatta committee. And so we went in with that vision to make the Regatta committee more of a community organization. And we started in during the Christmas time with the Christmas party. First time ever, the Regatta committee had a Christmas party, and we brought back the masses. It's been years since the masses have been in South Caicos. So to bring that back and to see the children, because that's what it's all about. It's about the next generation, to see them elated and happy about the masses. And for some of them, it's the first time they've seen the masses. And so those are the future masses. Those are the future committee members. And so I wanted to pour into them what others like the Bill Clears and the Norman Sanders poured into me with their work ethic with the Regatta committee. So I saw it as a grand opportunity to lend my service. And you're a Rotaract, and it's one of those service above self moments. And so I utilized that platform for that. Yeah.
I heard you mention the great Norman Sanders, and that's going to touch on to what I'm going to say right now. I'm hearing that the Big South is back.
Right.
You know, people are excited about Regatta, you know, and the tremendous work you're doing. So can you touch on a little bit about what to expect? Because I'm hearing that no later than yet. Last night, someone from South Caicos was telling me, say, man, Regatta is back, and they feel like this is gonna be the best one yet.
Right.
And so, what is the biggest difference in this year, 56 Regatta in comparison to others? What to expect? You know, I think it's the first time you move on from Little Miss Regatta to
Right.
Miss Teen Regatta. So touch on a little bit about what's new and what people should expect
Right.
from
And,
this Regatta.
and it's all about being big.
Yeah.
Big,
Mm.
bringing the bigs back into the Big South, you know. And so
Yeah.
the South Caicos is known for being
Mm.
big, doing things big, and it's been a long time since we've done that. The last big regatta we probably had was 2006. Prior to that, it was 96. So it's like we have one of these big regattas every decade, and so we saw an opportunity to have a huge regatta this year and bring a huge international artist. Actually, top 5 in the Caribbean. Lyrical is actually ranked top 5 in the Caribbean right now in regards to soca music. So we are bringing a regional superstar to South Caicos. Not only that, we're rebranding the pageantry and making it more interesting so that more people will be interested in pageantry with the introduction of Miss Teen Regatta, which is something new. So and of course you got Miss Regatta, which is usually the headliner, and then you go into the party into Friday night with the popular artists of Lyrical and other local bands and DJs, and you end the Regatta Friday celebrations with the Junkanoo throughout the town. You know, so again, there's the cultural element, and then there's the element of nothing being too good for South Caicos. We want to bring back that luxury, that greatness, and bringing lyrical to South Caicos is intended to send a message that as small as this island is, great things can come to it and out of it. So South Caicos, prepare yourself. I was speaking to one of the hotel managers, Cleo Cox, and he said his hotel has been booked from March. And so the people are interested, and my message to the people is to prepare for it, because this is going to be one of the biggest local festivals of 2023, and you should want to be a part of this. This is history you are experiencing, and you can be a part of history on May 25th to the 28th.
I feel like us as a people should, always promote and have pride in this event, whether you're from South Caicos or not.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, Regatta is the longest standing festival,
Local festival
in
Turks and
TCI.
Caicos, yeah.
So I feel like we all as local people should, seek pride in that. That's what that's what it's all about: promoting us, promoting our culture, and that's gonna go on to what I'm gonna ask next. You're all about service.
Right.
You joined the Regatta committee. Of course, to give back to your homeland, South Caicos. But even now that you're in Providenciales, you do so much. You engage in youth event, speaking engagements, panel discussions, and the list goes on and on. Why are you so passionate about service? I would say you're one of those guys who is a patriot. You stand for country. You're all about country, and you inspire other youths. From on Twitter, you see when you promoting Mr. Simmons to say, man, give this guy your ambassador deal. You're in the room and you're by the door and you're letting people in, you're
Right.
pulling people in, and
Yeah.
that's something I admire about you a lot. And a lot of us as a people have a crab and a barrel mindset.
Right.
And have a mindset of entitlement, have a mindset of first class citizen, but it's all right.
Right.
You're from here, you deserve the best of everything, but they're not doing, what you're doing and what a few artists is doing, uplifting, promoting.
Right.
What inspired you to be like this, despite the environment that we're in? It's dominant.
Yeah.
Crab in a barrel.
Crab in a barrel. And this is the debate I'm always having with people, because I honestly believe I'm born with these abilities, because it's not something that I have to work towards. It comes natural to me. I've always wanted my friends to to excel. I've always wanted to see people do better. I've never been someone that's tried to hold opportunities or withhold information. I've always wanted to see people elevate around me. When I went to university, I brought my cousin with me. I say, yo, we going to school. I ain't going to school. Listen about me. Let's do this together. When I held my first community event outside of South Caicos and North Caicos in 2011 or 10, we held a community basketball tournament. Young boys, two of them was in high school and myself out of high school, 2 years out of high school, having a community event, like a huge basketball tournament. We brought that to the community of Bowel Creek back in 2011. So I've always tried to show people that we are much more than the box that society places in. And there's so much more opportunities out here. Today I'm a radio host. Tomorrow I'm running the whole network. I believe that, there's just limitless opportunities out here, and there's no reason for me to withhold anything or stop someone from acquiring something. It's sad that we live in a community like that, but my message to people is that you have to see the world abundantly. There's no lack in this world. You look at everything. There's no lack. Look at the trees. Look at the animals. There's abundance of how is it that you have guys going out every day catching hundreds of fish and all these things. We live in an abundant world. So why do we place limits on ourselves? Why do we place limits on our brothers and say that they can do these things when we live in a world that's just pumped, that's just saying in our face that abundance is here, abundance is here. And if that's the message the world is telling us, listen and grow into that. The Andy of today will not be the Andy of 2025 because knowledge is infinite. It's up to you to shift your mindset to attain it and you to have that open mindset to acquire everything. But knowledge is infinite. I stand right here right now a fool in a sense because there's so many things I don't know. Which means that I'm going to evolve tomorrow. The minute I step outside of because I'm going to be on TikTok, I'm going to see something new. I'm going to be on Twitter, I'm going to see something new. That means that my mind is going to evolve. I'm going to evolve. Knowledge is infinite. Again, that goes back to the abundance around us. So when I see people out there with talents like Caddis and yourself and others, I'm going to show you the opportunities because I want to see if I water the seed, how big the tree can actually grow. I think what's more fulfilling than that, than you being someone who waters other people's seeds and you actually seeing how big it grows. And guess what? When that tree grows big, it creates a shade over you. So now you're protected from the sun. Not only that, that tree bears fruit so you can eat from it. I'm eating from your fruits right now, being on this radio show. What's up? I'm eating your fruits. And that's what you want. That's why you do it. It's bigger than me. It's about the next individual. And obviously there is a benefit in the long run, but most people don't see that. They just see it. They just see it as he's getting ahead. But they don't see in the context of the tree, you growing big enough so you can block the sun from damaging my skin. And you also giving me fruits from your growth. People have to see the world like that. And if they do, they can easily have that mindset. But it's a mindset. And I look at communities like South Caicos, North Caicos, and I can only talk about these communities because I've lived in these communities. The only thing that's stopping these communities is the mindset of the people. And if they can change that mindset and see the world as an abundant experience, the sky is the limit for what we can achieve.
There's a segment of my show I call Giving Flowers, and I think this is the perfect time to give you your flowers. I mean, we always scold youths who are doing the wrong thing. And I feel like it's important to applaud and tell other youths, to keep going. We also live in a society in which we don't really give credit where it's due. And, you can admire someone so much, but you would never tell them to the face you admire them. And I'd like to say to you, Mr. Lightbourne, and I'm saying it on air, and I'm saying it on, this video. So it's here forever. I appreciate you. I came to Providenciales last year. and actually I came as a social worker. But and I can remember the first thing I told you. I knew you. You're the guy from the billboards,
I
and you
remember
say,
that.
I know you. You are the rapper, and I don't know. From talking to me, you giving me advice. It just expanded my mindset. The level in which you were at was a level in which I admired a lot. I looked up to you a lot from the first day I saw you, and you reach your hand out and you pulled me inside, and I went from you sharing a link with me to the Live to Lead event to a year later me being a host at the Live to Lead event. You recommended me in different rooms amongst individuals. Hey, give Andy a shot. Give Andy a shot. And I'm so it you never even did it. I mean, to the point at which you wanted recognition for it, but the word always get back to me. And not saying that you only did this for me, you did this for so many other youths,
Right.
and I admire that. A stranger,
Right.
and it's I mean bittersweet because some people who I knew,
Right.
who I grew up under, would never do such a thing.
Right.
And that's why I appreciate that so much, and I appreciate the work that you're doing so much for the community. Because the steps you talk and that and influencing me and encouraging me and giving me a chance. I'm doing it the same with others. It's the same way how you pour into me, I'm pouring into others.
Right.
And the cycle goes on, and what you're doing is phenomenal. A lot of times, it gets swept under the rug. And I mean, a lot of times, sometimes you give people opportunities, you give people chances, and they forget. And blessings come from God,
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be. But I really appreciate it.
Appreciate
And
you,
I
bro.
know a lot of other youths appreciate it. You're inspiration to many youths.
Appreciate
So
that, man.
and now you're a hero to your community. Regatta, taking Regatta to the next level, adding a little spice to it. So I would like to say, just keep doing what you're doing, and
Appreciate that,
however
man.
I'm able to assist. I'm not from South Caicos. I've been one time, but I'm representing the Big South this year for the Regatta. Because I know if you're doing something, it's for the betterment of the community. It's for promotion. And I can't wait for one day, like they said, what Jags used to say, to what they say, remove the bully or something
Right.
of that nature.
That
and
divide.
and
Yeah.
we become together.
Yeah.
And you show me, because we know the history.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Talking, so cake.
Yeah, we do.
But
Yeah.
no, man, you're my brother. You're my brother, and I
Appreciate that,
appreciate
man.
you, and the country appreciate you. I say it on live here. Keep doing what you're doing. You appreciate it,
you,
man.
bro. Appreciate
So
you, man.
I'm going straight into what they say, the nitty gritty. So what you're doing is so phenomenal. This question comes around a lot.
Mhm.
Do you have political aspirations? You know what I mean? Because if a guy doing such,
Yeah.
phenomenal work, do you have political aspirations?
It's a question I get asked on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Even I remember my mother. At first she wasn't with it, but I guess people are asking her the question so much that she's now saying, son, if this is what you want, I support you. And honestly, I used to joke about it in high school because I like to make jokes.
Yeah.
That's if you know me, I like. But I've never really, in my heart, really said that I want to get into politics, so I want to be a part of it. I think everything I do resonates with a politician or a statesman supposed to be someone who's serving the community and who's trying to enhance the lives of the people around them. That's symbolic of a good politician, But I myself, I feel like I am impacting change at a much bigger level than a politician. I feel like, and I'm not discrediting the field, because it's a tremendous field that you can put policies in place and shape the whole dynamics and operations of South Caicos. But with the work that I've been doing over the years, with writing a book, with the platform I've built, I feel like that has impacted more lives than me being in politics could have done. And later on in my life, if I feel that conviction in my heart, I will answer the call. And I would say on radio that I would also like to be a part of what I would term the Moses government, the government that takes us to the next level, because that would resonate with my no unexpected theme that I've created with my life. I would like to be a part of the government that takes us to the finish line if I ever do serve this country within that capacity. However, my vision in the next 5 to 10 years is to continue to build my writing platform, to continue to build my media platform, and become someone who's I would say, in a sense, financially free. That's my goal for the next 5 to 10 years. I don't see politics in the makings of that. I see politics being a distraction in that regard. However, if God, through the burning bush experience, reveals to me that this is the path and my people needs me, I will answer the call, because I have people who will support me and who will work with me. I've seen it with my family, individuals like yourself. I will do it. But as it stands right now, and I'm probably disappointing a lot of people, but as it stands right now, I don't see myself in politics in the short term.
So who do you define to be a leader? What do you consider as a leader?
Someone who understands that it's bigger than me. To simply put it, the vision is bigger than you. It's, if you look at the story of Satan, right, in the Bible, and Satan being so beautiful, one of the most beautiful angels, that beauty consumed him to the point where he started to be manipulative and controlling. A leader doesn't allow that beauty, that gift, to consume him to the point where he feels like he needs to manipulate and control people. He understands that with great power comes great responsibility. And that means he must serve with that power. Satan should have served those angels with his gift. He didn't. He wanted to control and manipulate them. And that's how he got kicked out of heaven. And we must always remember that, because he was appointed the leader of them angels. That's why he was given those gifts. But he allowed that to consume him. And a leader, when you're a leader, you are aware of your gifts. You're aware of this power. You have that self-awareness. A true leader has that self-awareness. And as the Marvel story with Spider-Man goes, with great power comes great responsibility. The question is, are you responsible? Are you accountable with your power? And if you are, and if you act with integrity and morality, then you see people around you changing and doing the right things. But if you don't, we will lose the country. And we've seen that happen a lot in the South Caicos Islands, where you have people going there and they're either letting their beauty consume themselves, or they just act without integrity. So a true leader has to be self-aware of his power and serve the people with it, and not put himself first. And when we've seen it with people like Nelson Mandela, with Martin Luther King, with Malcolm X, with Honorable McCartney, Norman Sanders as well. I have to mention those guys as well, because they're the pillars of this country. We've seen it with them and the work that they've done throughout their careers. That's true leadership, and for the leaders listening in, that's how you move this country forward. It's not about you. It's about the people around you, and you pouring into them and you growing them every day. That's true leadership to me.
So what do you think about, because, individuals too, we are born as blank slates. You only know as much as you see, and we mimic things that we see. If you look back to, you walk the way someone in your family walk,
right,
whether you believe it or not.
Right, indeed.
And a lot of people, they lack the intelligence to decipher between, what's right and wrong, because Peter's doing it.
Right.
I want to do it too.
Right.
Because they admire what Peter have, but they don't know what Peter had to do to get that. And,
Right.
they don't know the consequences, that comes along with it. And to a large extent, that could be what's leading to crime,
Yeah.
juvenile delinquency, the blind, leading the blind,
Yeah.
and the blind following without, recognizing. What are your advice to young individuals who have a desire to be leaders? Young individuals who are suffering from peer pressure
Right.
and the many different, distractions, like the article you released recently, the Keeping Up with the Joneses,
Right.
but you didn't know that the Joneses was broke. What's your advice to those individuals to have that, freedom mindset, that, mindset to seek financial freedom,
Right.
and social freedom and the many different freedoms that is out there. Get
Right.
away from the crab in the barrel mindset
Right.
and be innovators and creators that we need to push this country to freedom
Right.
and be better than it's ever been.
Right. I recently listened to Honorable Charles Washington Missick conference, and he was explaining the DMO. I'm not talking about the DMO, but he said something. He said change is very uncomfortable. My message to those individuals is that fall in love with the unfamiliar experience of change. That's where your growth will be materialized. Fall in love with saying to the person, and it feels uncomfortable because everybody else is doing it. But saying to the person, I don't want to do this today, or I want to go this way, or try and do something that is giving you this uneasy anxiety feeling. That's where you grow. You have to push yourself. You have to look at the crowd. Just take a step back. See what everybody's doing. Try and divert a bit. Just a bit. And you'll see the change around you because you're operating different from everybody else in the group. And they're going to want to know, why is he different? They're going to approach you. When they approach you, they're going to see, okay, he has a different mindset. He has a different work ethic. I'm going to give him opportunities. With each opportunity you gain, you build your platform, and you get in rooms. Your gift starts to create rooms. Put you in spaces. I'm sorry, and you get in the contacts of people. And now you're not, by taking that smaller version. Now you're in different rooms. Now you're around different people. Now you're growing at a capacity that everybody else around you couldn't grow. So you have to fall in love with the process of change, which is very uncomfortable. But that's where the most growth is. And if you're a young person that's looking to become the next, whatever you want to be, the next great thing in this country, you have to see what everybody else around you is doing and do the opposite. We have a national track that's open to the public. If you are an athlete that's almost qualifying in the Carifta semifinals, because I've seen a lot of that, right? When you come back here and you see everybody else is doing this, you should be on the track every day. You have TikTok and all these things at your disposal, learning techniques and calling your coaches and saying, Coach, come out here just one day out of the week, 1 hour. You have to show up differently from everybody else. And I guarantee you, next Carifta, you'll either be in the finals or you'll win it. But you have to look at what everybody is doing and do different. Fall in love with that.
So what is your motivation for the youth who are losing hope in community? The youth who are away to school and don't have a desire to come back because they don't see any opportunities. The youth who are falling victim to many different, abusers.
Right.
And what is your motivation to those youths?
The South Caicos is a growing country. Mm-hmm. If you come here and you develop consistency and you have the right mindset and you endure, because trust me, Andy, and you know this, it's not easy living here.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy. But if you can endure that, you can become consistent with your talents. you will cement your legacy in this community, in this country. I've been a part of that. I'm not sure if my legacy is cemented. I will not toot my horn. That's for people to say. But I can tell you that opportunities are here. Other countries are seeing it and capitalizing on it. You have to come back and be uncomfortable for a few years. I was uncomfortable for a few years. But now I'm beginning to gain momentum. And it might take a few more years for me to really get where I need to be. I'm fine with that. Because I know that my name here is much bigger than my name in the UK or any other country. Turks and Caicos is wide open for us. And we should utilize that. And break away from the crowd and make those sacrifices on a few parties to buy that gear or equipment that will get us to the next level. It's out here. It's habits, it's mindsets. With the right habits and the right mindset, you can come here and dominate. And that's motivational for me. So yeah, it's here, man. I see so many opportunities. And there's new industries coming on stream. So it's up to you. I know I'm coming for it. I'm here for it.
So you heard it, folks. Yours truly, Andy Missick, with Mr. Born to Lead himself, Leo Lightbourne, with another great episode of Wassup Turks and Caicos. I'll see you again next week with another episode.
Thank you, Andy.